Welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic is The Search Ends Inside You. Please remain muted, and we will start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels and ascended masters, to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last deep breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. Okay. This is not recorded. Barbara, did you want to comment on the video, on the comment?
Just that the verse is very true and the reflection on it clarified exactly what's going on in the world. Thank you.
Okay. And Barbara, can we please have your discourse?
Thank you. The search ends inside you. Alan has an interesting way of expressing himself, and I love it. I love the way he speaks. And that particular message that he sent is what we're going to talk about tonight. Everything he was saying is the attunement, what's going on inside you, the frequency that you've reached. Believe me, there's not one frequency going on. There's many frequencies working at the same time. In some areas, you're a master. In other areas, you're 3D. In other areas, you've even reached 4D. In some areas, you are amazingly flying like an eagle. And life expresses itself as a result of where we're holding the frequency. Now, since there's so many frequencies, there'll be days that you'll be working out of the 5. There'll be days when you're working in the base 3D. Others will be 4D with some ups and downs involved in it. You're not just here to enjoy the highest level you've reached, because what's holding you from your ascension completing itself is the things that aren't vibrating at the highest frequency that you've reached in other areas. So life gives you everything you need to work through those lower, denser frequencies that remain within you. We don't like to go there. We like to be working out of the highest frequency, where the day is just as smooth as silk. Everything we touch works out for us. People are responding beautifully to what we say and do. And that's a wonderful time as well. We all love those days. And then we have the days that try us. Do we fall into the usual pattern of fear? Because that's the enemy. The world can bring you to your knees sometimes with the shock of an event that you did not see coming, with a diagnosis of something you had no idea was inside you. Uh, a friend or family member or anybody in your life, you find out they're gone suddenly. These are the moments that you test yourself to see, what do I do with it? What do I do? Do I break into a million pieces and shatter like we used to do? Or do we go inside and start breathing and asking myself to calm down and just feel the emotion of it, deal with that emotion first? Because once you get that out of the way, then you can be in your center. And in that center space is all the answers, all the guidance. Everything is in the silence, not words, but energy being released from your higher self and from the universe and from the guides and the angels all around you. When you allow yourself to be in your center, or you command yourself to be in your center, fear can't enter in. It can't. You're more powerful than that. There were many circumstances in my life that were shocking, where I didn't see it coming. I had no idea that this was going to happen, and then it happened. And I had to practice. I failed many times. I wasn't able to come out of the emotional portion of this. And I just kept on in the emotion of it until I finally said to myself, you're getting nowhere and you're sinking deeper, and you've got to do something about this. And so I would stop and I would do what I just said. I would breathe deeply. I would get myself into my center and I would just rest, just quietly rest. Some circumstances, you've got to act fast. You've got to do everything you got to do. If there's somebody that's injured, if there's somebody that collapses, you've got to move fast. That's a different circumstance. Afterwards, you can gather yourself back together. But at the moment, you're on it. And that's being in your center. You're immediately responding to circumstance. For those of you that freeze, you need to center yourself first, deal with the motion, and then act, because you're not going to be able to act. You freeze. And I know a lot of people that happens. They can't move. They can't think. They can't gather their self together to respond or react to a situation. I trained myself to do this. It seems to be my nature, though. So I'm lucky I have that type of personality that I can do that. But for those that don't, I have counseled them and helped them to very swiftly get themselves back in the center so they can do what they need to do. Yeah. The incredible life that we're living is responding to us. The universe responds to us. Our deepest wishes, our hopes and prayers, our decisions that are going to change our life because we refuse to go back to the ways that weren't working anymore. And each and every circumstance that you master, you don't have to go through it anymore. That particular frequency is healed. And then you go on to greater matters. Now, in 5D, we're not dealing with all of this. We're beyond this constant polarity of good and evil and constant fear and experiences that are challenging us. It's a challenge in a different way, a more beautiful way, a more enjoyable way. It's to continue to stretch our spiritual muscles, but we're doing it without all of this drama that we have to go through here in the world, in the 3D world, in the 4D world. But why does that happen? Because we have to wake up out of this dream, this sleep state, and really see what's in front of us. And now, with so many people waking up, their timer went off. It is quickly moving us into a much higher opportunity to be masters, to see with eyes that truly see and not go into a fear state, but to say to yourself, whatever I'm given personally is for me to deal with. But if I'm witnessing something happening across the world, my job is to respond in love, blessings, call for light and angels, and be very grateful that they answer your call. You must believe that you have the power to do this. And as you ask, you shall receive. It isn't like it's if you're a spiritual person, you're going to get your prayers answered. If you're praying for people who are suffering, there is an immediate response, immediate, because the ascended beings are not allowed to interfere. They must be called and given permission to respond. And therefore, that's something that we're called upon to do. Yeah. As you continue to move forward and upward, your heart is going to expand to the point where everything that you see where there's suffering, you're going to feel the emotion of that very, very deeply. You'll want to do something. Start with prayer. When I hear people say, well, all I could do was pray, I go, hallelujah. That was the best thing. Start with that. Get everybody in on it that can do something about it and get them in motion. And then if you are directly involved in a situation where you have some say or you have the ability to be part of it and help, then step into that. Set the tone with the help from those on the other side. Get your higher self into the act by asking for guidance. Show me the way. What do I need to see? So clarity will be given to you. He spoke about that, clarity. Clarity comes when you're in a peaceful state. Clarity comes when you ask for guidance and direction or to just see what you need to see. I've told the story before. And this has happened many times. There's a contract in front of me for buying a vehicle or um, getting a house or whatever we did. And I would look at the little tiny print and say, I can't even see it, no less read it. I don't even know what it says. Show me what I need to see. And just like a magnifying glass zooms in and on the very line that I need to really read it and cross it out or to question it, shows itself to me. I do it every time. Nothing gets signed unless I've already asked and examined what I needed to. In this world right now that we've been living in, there is so much corruption. But the question is why? Why are so many people taking advantage of others? Because this is a world where we learn to trust the God in people, not the humanness necessarily. because it's the God in them. That's why I always suggest you say, the Christ in me greets the Christ in whoever it is. This way, you're locking into that vibration in that person so that the experience will be very different than it perhaps would have been with somebody else that just walks in innocently and gets the experience that they get. Many, many times you're going to find discernment lessons are involved where you need an experience that's going to test you. It's going to try you. It's going to see if you take command of the situation or you allow the situation to take command of you. That's not what you want. And in a world that still exists around us, you really don't want to be like that. You must be on your best. Always alert, aware, feel the energy about everything around you and allow that energy to guide you. Because if you feel nervous, don't do anything about what's coming up because it's a warning, warning. There's something going on you need to really look at. I would love to know that people are true to their word. That it used to be when my father would make an arrangement with somebody, they'd shake hands, and that was sealing the contract. Well, today people try to grab your hand to seal a contract. You don't even understand what they're trying to seal with you. And it's a little game because they know once you shook hands, if you're that kind of person, you are going to go forward, whether it later, when you thought about it, it wasn't going to work out. Be wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove. That's the saying. And that's what I'm explaining here. Oh, yay, Greg. Good work. So, everything that's going on inside you that is fear-based, is going to bring you an opportunity to go beyond that fear and to work yourself into being in your center so that you can deal with it properly. So when people are saying they're having a bad day or a tough day or one of those days, I smile to myself and say, I hope you mastered it. How did it go? And they tell me the story, and sometimes it goes well. Other times it has to be repeated. So, what happens when we avoid going forward in a situation that's offered to us? Guess what? It's going to come again with somebody else, maybe bigger guns coming to make it a little more clear to you that you need to master this. Yeah. A remarkable matrix, believe me. And most people used to talk about it as the worst place you could ever be. Let me out of here. I'm in a cage. No, you're not. Because that's the victim mentality. And you can't possibly be a victim, for heaven's sakes. You're God incarnate. You're here to let go of the things you picked up along the road of life that you started believing that has nothing to do with you. Nothing. It was meant to be swept off, to be mastered, to be moved into light. But we weren't ready. This is our chance. Everything in the universe is aligned. Every planet, every being is there rooting us on. Come on, you guys, you can do it this time. Let's do it. Pump those spiritual muscles. They can't do it for us as much as I would love to have had them take it on them. They're not going to. It's karmic. It's against universal law. There has been times when we are in such a crisis that we put ourselves in and we don't have enough light because we expended it in a irresponsible way, or miscreations were made and we really were depleted, where Archangel Michael or one of the great beings of light will step in so that you aren't in a dilemma you can't get out of. However, I tell you, it's rare. It's very, very rare. You've got to realize you're here to be mastering life as it presents itself to you. Two people could be having exactly the same experience, and they won't respond or react the same way. Everybody's on their own timer. Everybody is doing things the way that they are willing to do it. There's nothing you can't handle because your higher self won't bring on something you're not ready for. You will always have the help and guidance that you need, but what do you have to do to have that help and guidance? You have to remain in a state of calm, not allowing fear to enter into the situation, and ask the right questions to your higher self to get everything in alignment so that no matter what we face, we will be able to deal with it. We'll be able to master it and not have to ever go through such a situation again. Now, for those of you that are counseling people, that are working with people that are coming to you for help, I want you to remember something I learned many, many years ago. Your advice that you speak of is for you first, for you. And if they get the message, and if they are willing, they'll get it too. It's for us that we speak, because there's only one person in our world. And if they're in trouble, we're in trouble. If they're hurting, we're hurting. Somewhere within our psyche, in our emotional body, or in our physical body. It doesn't matter where it's hitting us. We're with people that we think we're there to help them. We are, if they're willing to listen, if they're ready to listen, and if they can actually hear you. This is very important, because if they're not ready for the message, it goes in one ear and out the other as if you never said it. They can't grasp what you're saying. It doesn't register. They're not in the same dimension. They can't do it. They're vibrating at a different frequency. And it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. And so are you. The charm of being awake and aware at this time is that we are understanding why the things that are happening that are so dark and so painful to witness is happening. We understand it. And in our understanding, instead of dropping your frequency and panicking or getting angry and frustrated, we are to pour light and love and understanding into it. We are bringing 5D. We are. And the way to do that is what we do every day. Who we are every day. Not just when we're with certain people or under certain circumstances. The search for information is inside you. The answers exactly for your circumstance, for your mission, for your life is inside you. You don't have to guess. It's a given. You already are who you wish to be. Finished, ascended, a master of life. However, there's lots of things that we picked up along the way that are still blocking us. If you feel pain in your back, it has to do with your foundation of understanding universal law, the law of love, the law of oneness. If you have pain in your shoulders, you are taking on other people's burdens that are not yours. If you stop doing it, it will lighten the load. For those of us that have pains in our hips, legs, and feet, do we feel comfortable where we are in our life, in our world, in our homes, in our cities, in our states? Are we comfortable where we're living? Because perhaps we are preparing for something different, somewhere different, some other energy portal that is going to become home base for us. Everything happening in the world is reflecting the great cleansing that's going on inside us. How many people are starting to feel like their house is cluttered and they need to clean up the clutter? Start to get rid of things that are just sitting there that we've had for 50 years. These are signs to you that you want to clean up inside. You don't want to see outside what you've already cleaned inside. A lot of the clutter, the things that no longer belong to you or are serving you, no longer things that are even part of this life right now. How many of you are living in the past traumas that you had as children or that you had as a teenager because it's not happening anymore, but you keep reliving it by hanging on to it? All of this got to go. Sweep it not under the rug, but sweep it right out of the house. Your house. Your house is your body. Get it into the violet flame and let it transmute it into pure Christ light again. This is what we can do. And all of this search that we have, thinking that there's something out there that we need to accomplish, is actually what we need to accomplish inside ourselves to become the master of the house. Okay, time to move on. So I'll finish my thoughts after segment 2. When I do my closing statement, we have a beautiful song coming and it's a little lengthy, so I'm going to stop right now. And those watching on YouTube, you can see us on Our Divine Origin. Look for the dove, white dove inside a purple box so that you get the right Our Divine Origin. Our website is ourdivineorigin.com. God bless you. You can see everything we've got here when you go on the YouTube. Thank you.
Christine, please stop the recording. Barbara, can we have your closing statement, please?
Yes. Okay, so the search ends inside you, not outside you, not in somebody else's world. Nobody is going to jump in and say, that's okay, you don't have to finish up, let's get out of here. It doesn't work that way. You don't get out of here. You don't lose your good side or everything beautiful and holy inside you. What you lose is what you're not. Everything that you give up and give away, it has nothing to do with you. You took that in as a kind of like a fear-based acceptance of life as it presented itself. But as you open up your heart and really focus on what you have going on inside you, take care of what's not pleasant for you. If you see your life going in a direction that is very, very scary, aggravating, nothing's adding up, nothing's running forward, you know you kind of jumped on a track that is not your path. Just learn that life is going to guide you to the best version of yourself. And when you have troubles, if you can stay in your center, you'll resolve them. Just like we heard the stories of how you move through a situation that seems impossible, seems so painful that you don't know how you're going to get out of this. It isn't about conniving or controlling it. And like in the video, Alan, what he said was, the more that you hang on to your own, I'm going to do it this way and I'm going to make it happen and I'm going to do this and I'm going to, the more you do that, the more that you'll struggle because life has to come at you. And the only way it can express itself in the way that you need it so you can work through the things that you haven't mastered yet is to breathe and allow it to happen. Stop fighting life. Stop fighting the people who are coming in to help you grow. Don't hate them. Don't run away. You step away. You don't run away. When things happen, there's a reason for it. Ask inside yourself, what is it that I am going to learn from this? What do I need to look at? I always take responsibility for it. I go, okay, if I witnessed this and it troubled me, and I mean it troubled me, I know it's something to do with me. And I think about how I felt as I experienced the situation. If there was somebody who was very mean or nasty or saying things that are untrue, I know I did that to somebody, whether it was them or someone else. That was the person that brought it to me. And I own it. And it makes me so sad that I ever did that to anybody. And that's how I could get myself to cry because it hurt me to think that I hurt somebody. And if that would trouble you and you're having trouble dealing with the emotional side of things, please, please own it. Feel the hurt that you perpetrated on someone else so that you had to feel that and experience it yourself just one more time until you let it go. So you're free. You're free. You're not free for a minute. You're not free for one lifetime. You're free for life. If it's deep enough, it takes a while. It takes several opportunities coming at you so that you can keep dealing with it. But you say to yourself, it's the same pattern. It's the same thing. I haven't gotten to the causal level. The causal level is where it starts and finishes. That's where it is. And it's inside you. The button we talk about that got pushed, once that button is no longer there, they could do exactly the same thing to you and you would not react because there's nothing to react to. The button's gone. But what you do feel is compassion for their suffering because you know what it's like to be angry like them or to be abusive or to be in any other state. You understand it and your heart goes out to them. You feel horrible that they're struggling, that they're hurting. Don't take it on yourself. Pray for them. Bless them. If they ask for your advice or if they ask you to help them understand, please do. Speak about your own situation. Don't be ashamed that you had that circumstance happen to you. I tell everybody what happened to me. I'm not ashamed of my past. I know I learned from it and I grew from it. And if that helps any one of you, if that makes any one of you understand what is happening to another person, please share it. Give them that grace that you have from your experience. And when the time comes that all is said and done in your life, the peace that passes understanding is the final result of your incredible journey. You get to a place where you accept yourself, forgive yourself, and you honor yourself. Here I am, and this is my life. This is what I did. This is who I was with, and I am loving them just the way they are. I can't change anyone but me. And once you really know this and you take this as your path too, you'll understand that if you give advice, don't expect anything in return. In other words, don't expect them to suddenly heal because you told them what you know, what you experienced. Don't expect anything. Whatever you do, do it from the goodness of your heart. And then the return flow of that gift, even if it isn't received by the person that you're working with, you get back the same blessing that you sent out. Because honestly, the message was for us, the speaker. Yeah. If it does plant a seed, because it does, if they're at all is listening, then someday when their timer goes off, there'll be a memory of that seed growing into wisdom. And then they'll have to have the experience in the world, and then they'll have the knowledge that they already gathered within their energy field. And then it will become wisdom as a result of the experience. You have to have the knowledge and the experience for it to become wisdom, because you can't read it and make it yours. You've got to live it and make it yours. Okay. So, I don't want to go over any further. I know that tonight's topic is deep and real. It can be raw, but in the end, the beauty of your love and forgiveness and acceptance is everything. Your life changes as a result of what you change inside you, and your life will become everything that you ever wished for. Yeah, the peace that passes understanding, and to be loved and to love freely, freely. And your body will respond to everything that you do inside you. Remember that. So, with all my love, I close, wishing you a very blessed week. And for those that are willing to stay on to do the planetary, we're going to be doing it tonight a little later than our usual schedule. From the 2nd tomorrow till the 7th, we'll each do it individually at 7 o'clock. I'll be meeting you in the heavens doing our prayer, and collectively it will build in the world and spread out. On the 8th, we'll have our next forum, and then we will do it at 9 o'clock like we're doing tonight. So God bless you all. I love you. And I turn the mic back to our host.
Thank you, Barbara. Christine, could you just stop the recording for a minute? Okay. I will read our closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, comments, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising our frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. We know that we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite all of you to remain for our 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing the evening with the planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen. Please help to recite this beautiful prayer. Christine?
The Galactic Command is present. They're present with us tonight for the prayer, and they've been here.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me, hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind, breathing in the divine light and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time, breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses, the continents and islands of land upon the earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light, as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms, press your feet to the floor, become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen.
Amen. Amen.
You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
Christine, can you stop the recording?